I've been working on some calligraphy in my alchemy journal, and I printed out a list of this was all I could find on the computer that's written into whatever Microsoft. It's Old English, which looks a lot like the Gothic alphabet, but I'm not loving it. So I decided to do my own. So practice makes perfect. I've got this little notebook of notes that I want to use. So here goes nothing. I'm trying to kind of be curvy on the bottom, but put kind of a sharp edge at the top of my letters. I don't know that that's going to work out just perfect, but I'm going to give it a whirl. I'm sorry if it looks distorted on camera. I can't really look up while I'm doing it because I'm trying to concentrate. This is harder than it looks. I thought it would be really easy to do calligraphy if I had the right tool. It's not as easy as you think. So, I don't know if anybody has any tips or tricks, let me know. I know I'm left-handed, so everything's going to be backwards. Oh my gosh. This is harder than I thought. You love it? So I got 4 more. I figured if I put 3 here, I'll put 2 here and 2 here, and then I'll leave a lot of stuff blank. I did some stamping, and I'll do a flip through in a minute. But that's a Halloween stamp. I found the strangest stamps in various places, but you know what? It was hard. It was hard for me. Okay, so here we have 10. So how do I make a T? I guess a T would be like, and then I lead Mercury. There's another one for Mercury. I don't remember. Who knows? Oh, this one is for platinum. You know, they thought back then that platinum was a mixture of gold and silver. Okay, so I'll show you real quick. I was going to save the flip through as a surprise, but I think I'm going to take a break from calligraphy. So I'll show you what I've got. So I've got the 4 classic elements, and I just went ahead and wrote 4 classic elements. I did a little stamping. I wrote the signs of the Tria Prima, which again are Mercury, salt, and sulfur. Okay, so sulfur is considered the soul and equivalent to us. That's the symbol for it. It's the mind to body connection. It's also associated with masculinity, heat, also called brimstone. And it's considered the middle of the 3 of the trifecta, connecting high and low, and also associated with dryness. Then Mercury, there's the symbol for Mercury, is considered low. It's not the spirit, it is the mind, which people tend to, I guess back then, confused the mental awake self with their spirit. It is also associated with femininity, It's a water, considered a water element, moist, wet, cold, also called quicksilver, and then salt, which was high, which represented the body. There's the symbol for salt. There's actually another symbol for salt, and I saw it frequently during my reading, and I'm going to add it on here. Everything had a couple different ways to mark it. So I kind of like that, to put both. It was a confusing time with no one being able to read, and merchant ships trading overseas in foreign countries. So, okay. Salt is associated with the essence of the human, or knowledge, wisdom, crystallization, and also condensation. Okay, so I left this blank. I did some little corner stamping on it. I darkened that a little bit, the little tears where the paper's torn. I left this blank. I put a crown here. Royalty was significant, as was religion and Christianity during this time. So in here, there's a couple little things I've hidden. That map I got that was written in this old ancient Greek notes. And then one that I found on the internet and swiped, and it has, I aged it up and wrinkled it, and it has the little boats, and it has the merchant ship. The dotted line represents where they went to trade when. I also aged the back with two different colors, sepia and, let's see, sepia and what else did I use? Coffee, both. And then what I did was I rolled it up in here and tucked it in so that it would lay fairly flat, because if it's rolled just right, then there's not too many layers on top of layers. Now, I tied it with a piece of sari silk, which became a big trading item during the Middle Ages. Silk was unheard of in some places up until the ships developed. Oh, hi, Maria. You're doing your makeup? So I put some stamps here, and then I put a snake up here. Snakes were very symbolic, not only in Christianity, paintings and teachings, but also in alchemy. So during the time, snakes and griffins, and they were all symbolic. I put an hourglass just because it's really hard to find stamps that you can use from, centuries ago. I put some little corner embellishments on here from Tim Holtz. I don't know where that's from. I think that's Seven Gypsies, but don't quote me on, or no, I don't remember where the stamp came from. Then I made my own calligraphy because I don't know how not to. So these are the 7 planetary metals: copper, gold, silver, tin, lead, iron, and mercury. There's a little old lock and key I found, and I found this in a Halloween stamp set. So we knew that much about the body at that time. And then I just stamped some crowns, some kings and queens, because royalty, of course, was kind of the order of the day. Here's that bag again. I sewed in a piece of unbleached muslin so that something could be kept in there. A coin, an amulet, a piece of jewelry, a lock of hair, who knows. I did some stamping here at the top and the bottom. I stamped some of these hands, which, I don't know, these are kind of weird. Like, I think that's a palm reading hand. So, and back then everything was very mysterious, and people would just up and die for reasons unknown. But then now we know why. Now, maybe they were a painter using some ink, back then cadmium yellow. I mean, still cadmium is dangerous. They still make cadmium yellow, but lead, in order to make a really vibrant paint, they would put lead in it. And I was pretty proud of some of the calligraphy, not all, but I'm still working on it. And you know what? Uh, for an amateur, I don't think it's too bad. Especially since I haven't picked up a calligraphy pen in ages. But there's not much else I think I'm going to add to it. I think I'm going to leave it pretty simple. Have a good day. Alrighty. Bye. Bye.